home will still be able to access online lessons when school goes back. Education Minister John Gardner says they'll cover a variety of subjects from reception up to Year 10.
It might be an example where a child contracts COVID and has to be isolating at home, or a child who is a close contact and so has to be isolating at home, removed from their classroom. They're available for anybody who needs them to keep that continuity of learning. They're available to supplement other classroom programs where the teacher sees they'll have value.
Concession card holders are being assured there is strong supply of COVID-19 rapid tests. More than 2,800 pharmacies have distributed almost 2.5 million at-home screening kits since last week. That's well over double the federal government's expectations for the program. Federal Health Minister Greg Hunt says it's a great result.
They're getting strong supplies. Obviously, it will vary from pharmacy to pharmacy, but there is more capacity there. For those that are looking, please contact Find a Pharmacy, the website, and have a look to see if anything is available.
More than $50 million will be pumped into South Australia's economy, with 2 more rounds of Great State vouchers up for grabs from next month. Rounds 7 and 8 will see 160,000 vouchers on offer across accommodation, tours and experiences just in time for festival season. Ian Horn from the Hotels Association says hopefully they'll be back to 75% capacity by then.
The Christmas New Year period has been wiped out as an economic advantage. And welcome this, but let's not say that this is the end. This is certainly the first step, a welcome step, but real viability has to be restored with increasing the capacities again.
Fresh produce, meat, chilled goods and toilet paper are being flown to Coober Pedy. The Outback's town's been cut off by floodwaters. Some areas are bracing for more heavy rain tomorrow, with up to 250 millimetres forecast. Senior Liberals maintain there's no threat to Scott Morrison's leadership despite another bruising opinion poll. The first news poll of the year shows Labor has opened a 12-point lead over the coalition after preferences. Mr Morrison has also seen his approval ratings plummet but maintains a slim lead as preferred Prime Minister. Treasurer Josh Frydenberg says Australia has been through a challenging time.
So this poll reminds us of the mountain that we've got to climb between now and election day. It will be the Australian people who decide who they want as their government. You remember back in 2019, there were many political pundits who wrote us off, and then that was turned out to be wrong.
Now turning to FIVEAA Sport.
The all-new Kia Sportage is in store at New Spot Kia Salisbury Park. Order now to avoid delays.
Rafael Nadal is reflecting on his career in tennis after setting a new record for most majors men's titles. The Spaniard has claimed his 21st major with the win at the Australian Open, but says finishing ahead of Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic isn't important to him.
I don't care much if I am the one or not the one, or the best of the history or not the best of the history. I honestly today I don't care much.
Australian women's cricket coach Matthew Mott is calling for more test matches following a thrilling draw against England. Australia fell 1 wicket short of victory, while England finished just 12 runs short of a win. And the Cincinnati Bengals and the LA Rams have booked places in the NFL Super Bowl. Now checking FIVEAA traffic.
At Evanston, got a car v truck, Tulloch Road near Main North Road. Wingfield, got a road closed there, Cormac Road between Churchill Road to Magazine Road. At Marden, got urgent electrical works there, Paynham Road near OG Road. And slow going at the moment at Ovingham, Torrens Road at Churchill Road, speeds at 40 k's. A few cameras about for the drive home, Military Road, Henley Beach and Tapley's Hill Road, Acklenhog North. Totally Workwear's Back to Work sale is on now. Spend over $100 in store for the chance to win a new $1,000 Totally Workwear wardrobe at every store. See website for details. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEAA.
Now the FIVEAA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Mostly sunny this afternoon, 35. Partly cloudy tomorrow, 24. Wednesday, partly cloudy, 23. And Thursday, partly cloudy, 25. Right now, it's 35. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
A fireworks prank creates a damaging blast in Adelaide's West. The killer who won't behave. How his victim's sister is fighting his release yet again. Learn now, pay later. A revolutionary new scheme for school fees. the scam hitting one of our biggest banks, what you need to watch for, and why the cost of a beer at your local is about to explode. I'm Brenton Branglis. See the full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
This is Rowey's Sports Show. Stephen Rowe and Leith Forrest.
And for the first time in 2022 and the first time in 2 weeks, feels nice to say good afternoon and welcome back, Stephen Rowe.
Oh, thank you, Leith, for holding the fort with Bix. Did a mighty job. Look, I'm back. I'm in the land of the living, so to speak. I think I've said it a number of times on Brekkie with David and Will. The vid got me. Trust me, Leith. If you're high risk or a little bit chubby or diabetes 2 or anything like that, you don't want to get it. I don't know whether we start like this for the year 2022, but it's a prick of a thing. It's the only word I can put to it. And congratulations to China. You made something that actually works. It lasts longer than 3 days. Now, I know, the COVID gods got me. My boss, Money, when I sent him texts, how you going, I'd pot China all the time. Well, it's their disease. Let's not shy away from that.
Forget about that. How are you feeling?
The COVID gods got me, mate.
Well, it did. That's right. Like the footy gods, the karma gods. How are you feeling, though? So you're 2 weeks out.
Okay, yeah, I'm day 17. The residual effects are you're a bit fatigued. Wanted to have a little cat nap a couple of hours ago, but we had to prepare the show. You have a dull headache, you have the odd aches. I'm still getting the odd bad sweat. Now, they are symptoms, but I have tested negative. Before I came back, I had to test negative on a rat. We've got to do that Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. So, Leith, I can sneeze with my hand over my mouth. You're not going to get it. I do have a few takeouts, and we don't want to make it COVID, and it's not going to be. We're a sports show, and I can't wait to get our teeth into it. Vaccinations do work. My doctor, Dr. Verron, thanks to Doc Verrill at Spark, God, he looked after me every single day. I'd hate to think what would have been if I was unvaxxed. So please, again, I know I'm not forcing it down your throat, but they work. Just look at the numbers. And the other one I want to say thank you to is SA Health. They have a system whereby they send you a text every morning. You fill out the questionnaire. If you want a phone call from an SA Health worker, they'll ring you. And you know the good thing about that, Leith? It puts you at ease. And they did. So to all those health workers that are working around the clock from SA Health that are looking after COVID patients, trust me, you're doing a mighty, mighty job. That level of assurance that you're giving is just superb, and I thank you each and every day for doing that. It was bloody great. But look, that's the last we say about COVID. We're back.
Well, it is great to have you back, and what a weekend for you to return, because we have a new darling of Australian sport who's been a darling for a while, but she just put a full stop on it on the weekend.
This crowd is one of the most fun I've ever played in front of, and you guys brought me so much joy out here today. You relaxed me, you forced me to play my best tennis, and this is just a dream come true for me, and I'm so proud to be an Aussie. So thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you next time.
What did you make of the Barty party?
Yeah, she gets my top billing for the whole 21 days that I was away with COVID and lockdowns and the whatnot. Her winning that Aussie Open, it was a faultless 2 weeks. Have a look at the numbers. The numbers were truly incredible. She didn't drop a set. We know all of that. But the way she plays, the way she carries herself, the respect she gives to the game and the traditions of the game, her humility, her grace, her gratitude, the way she thanks her team. You know what she makes me? She makes me feel proud to be Australian. Pat Cummins makes me proud. Ricardo makes me proud.
Yep.
Paddy Mills makes me proud. She is in that top echelon of athletes. I love watching her play.
Rarefied air of the universally loved athlete.
She is, and I love that. The only thing that I would say with it, I'd love to get people's calls on this, we know Chris O'Neill won it back in 1978. She was the last Aussie to do so, okay? Now, I get the significance of Yvonne Goolagong-Cawley because Ash is a proud Indigenous person, as Yvonne Goolagong-Cawley is. Yvonne won it 4 times, 2 years before 1977. I get the synergy of all of that. I must admit, my wife brought this up. I felt a bit sad because the camera panned to Chris O'Neill. She's in the crowd. She was the last to win it. I reckon it would have been beautiful. If you wanted Yvonne, I get that. I'm not knocking that. But maybe get them both to do it. They were teammates in the Fed Cup. She was the last to... I just felt sad for Chris O'Neill. Sitting in the stand with a face mask on, it was her job to hand that cup to Ash Barty. She was the last to win it.
Yeah, no, you got a valid point. I think the mayo that we add to it is the Yvonne Goolagong-Cawley and the romance of that.
I get that.
You love sporting theatre more than anyone.
I get that.
That's a valid point. Probably could have done it together.
I just felt a little bit sad for Chris O'Neill.
But gee, what a night for Australian sport. Ash Barty gets presented by Yvonne while Kathy Freeman's taking photos sitting next to Ian Thorpe, and there's the gladiator Russell Crowe around the corner. What a night.
Was it a Kathy Freeman? The pressure on Ash was immense. Probably not as much as the Kathy Freeman. That is still numero uno. This isn't far behind. She was 1-5 down in the second set. On her knees, Ash, and found a way to win.
Speak to Darren Cale about that later in the show. What did you make of the men's last night? Big 5-hour marathon.
Rafa Nadal, 2 sets down. He's come back to win it in 5. Jody sat up all night and watched. I think it finished at 1, whatever. I went to bed after the second. I said, he's done.
Yep.
Medvedev, I call him ET. How big's his forehead? I'm not trying to be nasty there, but he has got a mighty forehead. I know you're just nodding away. Nodding
people can now see.
But that's his 21st major win. Only his second Aussie Open amongst all of that. This man is 36 in June. He's more than 10 years older than the Rusky, Medvedev. I loved his quote. This is Rafa. He says, I may win, I may lose, but I will never, ever give up. That's an athlete.
That is a champion. He spoke post-match.
Well, I even don't know what to say, guys. For me, it's just amazing. No, being honest, 1 month and a half ago, I didn't know if I will be able to be back on the tour playing tennis again. And today, I am here in front of all of you, having this trophy with me. And you really don't know how much I fight to be here. I can't thank enough all the support that I received since I arrived here. You are just amazing. Thank you so much for the love and for the support.
Do you know 6 weeks ago he was on crutches and he had COVID. He was on his knees and he's just won a 5.5-hour marathon with Medvedev and been 2 sets down. He's never done that, not in the past. They went for 5.5 hours. It was a 5-set marathon. Barty and Collins, that lasted 1 hour and 27 minutes in 2 sets. People always debate, should they get the same amount of money? Now, they got $2.85 million each for their efforts to win it. And so they should. I love the equal rights with all of that. But a lot of people always debate, well, how come they play 2 and they play 3 and all that? Would have you liked that to have finished?
No, because Medvedev's a tool.
No, but he would
I
have
don't
won.
want him to win.
No, but he would have won at 9
Correct.
o'clock. He's done. So that's number
Glad
one
Rafa
in that
won.
argument. I love the fact that that marathon happened, and it's a tradition that it's the best of 3 sets, which can go to 5. Does this matter? And I think it does. I think this does matter. I had a look at the peak audience for the Barty Collins game. Now, okay, Ash is an Australian and has appeal. It was 2.84 million people that watched that. It was the clear number one. The only sporting show or TV program in the whole of 2021 that beat it was the AFL Grand Final last year. So this is number 2 to that. It was the highest rating Australian Open final ever, men and or women. The other game, Nadal-Medvedev, 1.6 million. Nick Kyrgios and Thanasi Kokkinakis, we'll get to that, that was 1.73 million. She smashed those numbers.
Yeah, Saturday
so that's
night.
why they get the money.
Nice time slot, Saturday night versus a Sunday night. It was the popular Australian Open, so you get the ideal female winner in Ash Barty. You get the ideal winner, if it can't be an Australian, in Rafa Nadal. What did you make of Special K? They've changed tennis.
Yeah, look, they have, and I'm not too sure about this one. But a special mention, can I say, to our very own Thanasi Kokkinakis. He won his first major with Nick Kyrgios. We know that in the doubles. Played out of his skin. I don't reckon he'll ever play that well again. Leith, there you are. You watch. I hope he makes me a fool of that. He's had a big summer. We know that. But he suffered all that adversity and all those injuries over his 6-year career. I love his resilience and I loved his talent that it showed, and he was rewarded for that. Well done. Prize money, $675,000, his biggest ever payday. But for me, the crowd, I thought, was a little bit disrespectful in the end. I've been, and lucky enough to be, to a number of Australian Opens. And again, I always say I'm a traditionalist. And I'll ask myself this one simple question. And it's the same amount of money to go to a final. It's quite a reasonable amount of money. It's up around the high 200s, early 300s, depending on where you want your seat, which is a lot of money. Would I pay $300 to sit in a crowd to hear drunken people that are horses hissed yelling out during the serve and carrying on like pork chops? Would I rather sit there and hear a crowd, a traditional tennis crowd, cheer like they did to Nadal or Ash Barty? And I think I know the answer to that. I'm not too sure I like sitting there next to a drunken bum. No, okay, they built No, they did. They got a different crowd.
They did.
And that's got to be good for the game.
More appeal.
That's not a knock on Thanasi or Nick, but they did attract it. That press conference, they said, suck more, carry on like that. They want that. Nah, not sure I do.
You paid a lot of money to go to the AFL Grand Final. That's the crowd you get. You might have made a slightly boring sport even more interesting. Nick Kyrgios spoke about that post-match.
I mean, when I'm playing for someone else, my effort's always there. Obviously, at times in my career, I've been a bit, is he present or not? And this week, honestly, it's been insane. Like, I've never been so professional. I was waking up at 7 a.m, practicing at 8:30, so I guess hard work does pay off. But yeah, it's a surreal moment, honestly. Like, I just watched that, and where we came from as young kids to this, it's pretty special.
Has he won you over, Nick Kyrgios? Are you back on the Nick Kyrgios train?
He's getting there, but I felt for the M&Ms. They're Aussies.
Yeah.
They're just as Aussie as these two boys. And not that they got jeered or zooed or booed, whatever the hell that is, but they didn't have the favour of the crowd, because everyone wanted to jump on the back of the special case. I felt for them.
You do. Any other opponents, they would have had the entire stadium behind them. They didn't.
How unlucky are they? They get to their first final and they come up against the special case.
Very stiff. You can have your say on the weekends in tennis. 8223 0000. The Sip and Save text 0448 08 1395. Do you agree with Rowey? Do you like the yobbo element coming to the tennis, or do you think it's a little bit more sort of relaxed and a bit more pomp and ceremony?
And did you feel for the M's?
Yeah.
M&M. I did.
Rafa Nadal, popular winner. Ash Barty, is she up there with the most likeable, universally liked player of all time? Plenty more sport to get to across the weekend. Rowey will get your thoughts on that right after this.
Want to win a trip to the breathtaking Uluru? Listen to 5AA Breakfast all next week where we play Guess Uluru.
Every day we have a trip for two to give away. Simply be the first caller through and guess who is in Uluru, and you can win an epic 2-night hosted adventure flying to Uluru on a private charter and experiencing all the best that Uluru has to offer, staying at the iconic Ayers Rock Resort.
All thanks to NT Now. Experience the Uluru Weekender by private jet direct from Adelaide. Departs February 25th. Book now at ntnow.com.au. The Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery is back and doubled the fun with 2 Scott Salisbury homes in Somerton Park to be won. Just moments from the beach. Both homes are fully furnished, absolutely stunning, and ready for you to live your dream mortgage-free. With a catalogue of more than 15,000 prizes to win, tickets won't last long. Get yours today and join the fight at homelottery.com.au. Licence M14133.
On 7 News, the Adelaide super spreading COVID event, why it'll affect the start of school for some. Flood crisis, the Defence Force flies essentials into the SA outback, and how COVID's hampering a power star's recovery. 7 News at 6.
Time to do some outside maintenance? Give Ken a call. Our tradespeople are home maintenance experts. From plumbers to roofers to builders to hot water, all at a price you'll find very affordable. Give Ken a call today. Ken Hall Plumbers, 8364 5855.
Be part of one of the most important events in SA this year and get paid for it. The state election is March 19th this year. And the Electoral Commission of South Australia need over 7,000 South Australians to help deliver democracy on polling day. So if you could do with some extra cash and want to be part of one of the most important events in South Australia, head to ecsa.sa.gov.au and register to work at the state election.
Aura Retirement Resort in Findon is 5-star resort-style living with all the comforts, activities and services that you need to relax and enjoy life. Inquire now to secure your luxurious apartment in the Ruby Tower. Brand new 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartments start from just $370K. Start truly living at Aura by Live Well Findon. For more information, go to aurabylivewell.com.au or call their friendly sales team today.
Hi, Susanna Toop here from Toop & Toop. Our property management team saw 1,103 tenants through our rental properties in the past 2 months. It's been a big second half of 2021. Nord was our most popular suburb. We saw 109 tenants through our open homes, followed closely by the city where we saw 102 tenants. If you'd like to know how many tenants we're working with in your suburb and how we can help you secure one sooner, give us a call on 8362 8888 or go to toop.com.au.
This is Shane. Shane loves his beer fridge. Nothing beats a chilled home brew. But Shane has a problem. He gets the gilts having it on all day. Well, Shane, save your gilts for serving subpar beer to your mates, because NRG Solar gives you electricity guilt-free. Just guilt-free cold ales all day long.
Electricity guilt-free with energy.
Stick to pouring coldies, Shane. NRGsolar.com.au.
Scraped your caravan? Walker Crash Repairs, an RAA-approved caravan crash repairer.
This is Rowey's Sports Show.
20 minutes after 4, Stephen Rowey's back for 2022, and you can see him on our FIVEAA live feed. You can also check it out on YouTube. Sue from Christie's says you're looking good there, Rowey.
Well, I'm not. I'm a bit pasty.
Getting a nice little compliment early.
I'm not trying to knock Bix because I love him, but I'm about the same complexion.
At the minute, complexion. We're going to get to the weekend in sport. Some of your calls and sip and save text shortly. Here's what's happening on the roads.
At Evanston, got a car v truck, Tulloch Road near Main North Road. Wingfield, got a road closed there. Cormac Road between Churchill Road to Magazine Road. At Martin, got urgent electrical works there. Paynham Road near OG Road. And Trinity Gardens, slow going for intersection upgrade works at Portrush and McGill Roads. Cameras for the drive home today. Sedona Rammer Drive, Brooklyn Park and West Beach Road at West Beach. Lunch sorted at OTR. Their delicious $5 and $6 sandwiches are ready for you, and they're just $3 every Wednesday. OTR, making life easy. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Just before Scott, couple of text messages. I agree with you, Rowey. Chris O'Neill should have handed the cup. And Mark from Para Hill says, I'm not a Nick fan. Up yours, Novak, and well done, Ash.
Very humble young lady, Mark from Para Hills. We love your calls. We're interactive. We're going to be open for you all year, making room for you. Let's go to Aldinga. Hello, Scotty.
G'day, Rowey and Leith. Glad to hear you back in the land of the living, Rowey, and great to hear your voice again.
Oh, well, we don't want to go on about it, but yeah, I was a little bit crook. You don't want to get it, Scotty.
Oh, no, I'm already doing push-ups, losing weight as we speak.
Good on you, good on you.
Now, I'm going to use the word preposterous. It's not even ridiculous. The timing of the men's, year after year, I think 3 out of the last 5 has gone to 5 sets. Finishes at like 1:15 Melbourne, Sydney time. 1:45 our time. That's without the presentation. Now, I know Craig Tilley and his people of Tennis Australia are probably listening. How about, now we have Barty, how about we use a bit of common sense? Swap the men's and the women's, swap the women's to the Sunday night so to be finished by about 10:30 so kids and normal people of the world can watch it and still go to work without being a danger to society if they want to watch the whole thing. And have the women's on the Sunday. The men's can stay up 1 o'clock. You can stay up on a Saturday night. The kids, you could even put matchsticks in their eyes, keep them watching. If you ask Darren Cahill, could we possibly use a bit of bloody common sense and swap the days? Because I reckon there'd be about 10% of the people watching the end of that match, which was a sensational match, and why can't they just swap it? Like, we've come to an age now where a bit of common sense would come into it, wouldn't it?
Don't mind that, Scott. The ratings on Saturday, because it's a TV night, are far bigger and stronger than they are on a Sunday. Ash Barty rated almost what an AFL Grand Final does, almost twice what the men's final is. Scotty, great call. We might see you if Craig Tiley likes that. We'll give you a $50 Powers voucher. Let's start with that one. I had a look at some stats with that, Rafa Nadal and Ash Barty. $2.875 million. Both earned that. They deserve it. Rafa Nadal's now won 21 Grand Slams. We know that. He'll win his 14th French Open. No, make no mistake. He's won 13 of them. He'll win his 14th. He's lost 8 finals throughout his career. Novak has won 20. This is Grand Slams. He's played another 9 Grand Slam finals that he's lost. I thought, well, Roger Federer's won 20. How many has he lost? He's lost 11.
Amazing.
He's been runner-up 11 times. So that's 31 Grand Slam finals. I thought, well, who holds the record? I thought this would be interesting. Chrissy Evert-Lloyd, can you remember her? Elegant, beautiful, stylish player. She won 18 Grand Slams. She lost 16.
Wow.
That's the record. She lost 16. No wonder she married Greg Norman, pair of chokers.
Wow.
Mind you, that only lasted a year.
Mind you, you're still making, 34 Grand Slam finals, so you can go a bit. Hey, it was a big weekend in sport. Love to get your thoughts on that.
It is a draw, and it is one of the very best test matches we've seen in women's Ashes.
Here's the dangerous Phillips. What can she do off the net? Has she got another one? You betcha she has.
They might win it here, the Reds. Cavallo, they have! Unbelievable! Hiroshi Ibasuki.
It's the upset of the season. Melbourne had won 8 in a row. Adelaide killed the streak.
And Cincinnati is heading to the Super Bowl.
Has to be out. It is out. Perth scorched the Sixers.
So a good weekend for South Australian sport with some wins. I want to start with the negative, though. What on earth was going on with the Matildas?
Well, it's funny, this one. I sat and watched that game. They're out of the Asian Cup. We know that. They lost to South Korea 1-0. It's their worst finish in Asian Cup history. We know that. They won it in 2010, runner-up in 2014 and 18. It's just not good enough. They got probably 3 of the best 10 players in the world. One of them, Sam Kerr. Now, okay, she hit the post. She should have got a VAR. All that's if, buts and candy nuts. There's no way to sugarcoat this or whinging about VAR. Not good enough. And their coach, Tony Gustafsson, needs to be goose-stepped out of that job. In 18 months' time, we're hosting a home World Cup with New Zealand. He's got to go. Who have we got on with that?
Andy Harper's going to join us after 4:30.
Goosey has done stuff all. It's time to go, dude.
Here's the coach post-match.
I had one of the toughest talks as a coach when I circle up the team after the game, and I've been around in the game for long enough to know that football can be this way sometimes. And I take full ownership for performances, so do the players, but we also know that football can be this way sometimes.
So
we don't look as well drilled as the opposition team. Do you think we do?
No.
And I reckon, here you go, they're playing like bullheads, these girls. I think they're all up themselves.
Oh, I got a bit too ahead of themselves.
No, I do.
Horse before the cart.
I do.
Cart before the horse.
And I love the Matildas. But they weren't connected last night.
Pose that to Andy Harper just after 4:30. I know, because you were texting me during it. You were watching intently the Women's Ashes.
Kate Cross will face the last delivery of this test match. That's a full toss. Would you believe it? It is so similar to the last Sydney test of the Ashes. It is a draw, and it is one of the very best test matches we've seen in Women's Ashes.
Did we blow it? Did we blow it?
A little bit, just to set it up. Australia set England 257 runs off of 48 overs. Now, a lot of people thought that's not enough time to bowl them out. And, you know, you're giving England a chance to get 257. Would have been a world record had they got there. Now, it's day 4 on a turning deck. It's in Canberra. England were 3 for 166, needing just under 6 runs and over when I joined the television after going crabbing. And did a little bit of a clean-up. I thought, well, what's on the telly? I was absolutely riveted. We then took 6 wickets for 26 runs off of 33 balls. The Poms then needed 12 runs. On the last over, our debutante Kingy, the leggy, bowled an absolute pie for the 6th ball. We had 11 players around the bat. They parked the bus and it ended up a draw. That was Test cricket at its absolute best.
It was a great way to finish after the washout. It was a great way to finish. We're going to talk more about the sport of the weekend. Give me one more highlight. What captivated you more, the Reds win or the 36ers over the weekend?
I think that Newcastle Jets 2-1 win when a 15-year-old scores a goal, a cracking goal in the 88th minute. Nestori Irankunda, did I get that right?
Playing under 15s last year, now scoring in the A-League.
He's the youngest to score a goal and one of the youngest players ever to play for Adelaide United, the 6th youngest ever. Not only that, this is the confidence. He's 15. Mate, when I was 15, I had zits, I was ugly, I had a mullet, my front tooth was missing. I looked like I was an immature loose-mar. This lad then did a forward 1.5 somersault to celebrate the goal.
It was a good celebration. It was very good.
That was... Actually, that was my second best highlight of the weekend, that 2-1 win. We'll speak to Goody about that. I bet you he watched it.
Imagine this is your highlight when you're 15.
And it's going to be Nestori Irankunda. What a goal! Irankunda, the 15-year-old, the backflips. Extraordinary. Adelaide United's youngest ever goal scorer in the A-League men's competition.
Simon Hill did it a bit better than I did.
What was your highlight at 15?
Probably not that.
I thought you were going to say...
Might have been the first time I woke up in the morning with a... oh, hang on. Yeah, I won't go there, Leith.
There's
Did you dump
your
that?
first
I didn't even say it.
of the year.
Leith, I pulled myself back.
But you were going
How
down that
disciplined was
path.
I?
Your
What path was
first
I going
show,
down?
I'm blaming COVID. We're going to take a short break. Big show on the way. Andy Harper, Craig Goodwood, Mitchell Starc and Darren Cale.
5AA Breakfast.
The Premier of South Australia, Stephen Marshall.
Premier, I don't know any parents who are thrilled with the back-to-school arrangements. They're confusing, they're ad hoc.
It will be a disrupted start. start to the year. We tried to get our plans out as early as possible.
Informing Adelaide.
It has been a difficult start to the year for many businesses and families, but I think once school goes back, I'm very hopeful that we'll be well past that peak in South Australia and we'll be reducing our restrictions.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
The time is now. An opportunity to tell a new and unique story. 88 O'Connell, a connected community with swimming pools, gym, indoor and outdoor dining, fresh food marketplace and high-end retail shopping. 2, 3 or 4 bedroom apartments with unparalleled views to the city, hills, coast and beyond. The long-awaited display suite is now open, showcasing the incredible lifestyle on offer at 88 O'Connell. More than an address. 88 O'Connell, North Adelaide.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon, I'm Michaela Kamarek. South Australia has recorded 6 more COVID deaths and another 1,500 positive cases. Almost 16 million people are officially eligible to roll up their sleeve for a COVID-19 booster shot. The Australian Navy's largest ship has been crippled by a power failure as it delivers humanitarian aid to Tonga, and Rafael Nadal's attention is now turning towards Roland Garros after winning the men's singles title at the Australian Open. Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Croydon Park got a car v pole there, Regency Road near South Road, outbound delays. Evanston got a car v truck, Tulloch Road near Main North Road. Wingfield Road closed Cormac Road between Churchill Road to Magazine Road, and Marden Urgent Electrical Works Paynham Road near OG Road. Got cameras today, Sturt Highway Norriutpa and Vinevale Road at Tanunda. Reboot your weight loss goals in 2022 with WW's new personal points program. Start losing weight today with 50% off at www.com. Hurry ends midnight. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Cloudy tonight, a low of 18, possible showers tomorrow, 24. Right now it's 33. More news at 5 o'clock and as it happens on 5AA.
The wait is over. Survivor starts tonight.
Survivor's ready!
Australian Survivor, Blood versus Water. Starts 7:30 tonight on 10.
Can't wait. The passing of someone close places unique stress on family and friends. At this time, Farrell and O'Neill Funerals are here to provide reassurance and peace of mind. Farrell and O'Neill offer creative guidance and advice to tailor a service that best honours your loved one. Whether a large gathering or a small, intimate service, Farrell and O'Neill share their generations of experience in tailoring a unique and meaningful farewell. Proudly SA family owned and operated, because it's personal.
Okadorn Creative Industries is a First Nations business connecting Australia's ancient cultures with today's corporations through Reconciliation Action Plans. A Reconciliation Action Plan is an opportunity to drive change, be a preferred employer and build a dynamic and diverse team with greater cultural awareness. Okadorn can help you discover how a Reconciliation Action Plan can evolve and enhance your business. Okadorn Creative Industries, okadorn.com.au, bringing your story to life.
In parts of Norway, it's not uncommon for homeowners to find a polar bear in their driveway. And in Adelaide, polar bear sightings are on the rise thanks to Polar Air Heating and Cooling. The only bear you'll see is on the side of our vans. For a home as cool as a Norwegian chalet, call Polar Air Heating and Cooling for professional and prompt installation. Polar Air Heating and Cooling. When your lair is unbearable. polarairhc.com.au.
When everything that you've ever been taught doesn't work, what do you do?
A Fire Inside. Streaming on 9 now. Made possible by NRMA Insurance.
Scraped your caravan? Walker Crash Repairs, an RAA-approved caravan crash repairer.
This is Rowey's Sports Show.
26 minutes to 5. Stephen Rowey's back for 2022. You can see Rowey on our live stream. Check out 5AA's Facebook.
Which camera,
Check
please?
out on YouTube. You're on that camera right there.
I'm wearing my Nanamaskuris, but they're broken.
Well, now you got to think about it because you think, like, normally you might get away with wearing that T-shirt tomorrow. Not anymore because they'll pick you up. They'll see you on the camera each and every day.
So I've got to change my clothes
every day.
What about if I have a little nose pick?
Yeah,
what if I do a Rafa Nadal and pick the jocks out of my clacker?
Well, if all of a sudden you forget to shave, or your hair's a bit of a mess, or you come in your fishing clothes, everyone sees it.
Okay. Well, hello.
So you can do that on our YouTube and on our Facebook. We're going to speak very shortly to Andy Harper from Channel 10. Disappointing for the Matilda Sport Update. First for FIVEAA Milk. What do you make of this? Justin Langer. Cricket Australia have told Justin Langer he may have to reapply for his job. He's met with Nick Hockley and Ben Oliver. They had a performance in Melbourne discussing the future. Langer reacted angrily when told he might have to reapply. That's disrespectful to
Something's
Justin.
wrong here. Or they're going to offer him a short-term contract. This is a bloke that's won a T20 World Cup from nowhere and just won the Ashes 4-0. And he's got to reapply for his job. If I was JL, I'd say up your nose with a garden hose. There's got to be, where there's smoke, there's fire. There's got to be a certain amount of players that aren't happy with it. They've vented their anger or disappointment towards the board. This is Cricket Australia board. They're getting a new chair. I'm fearful for him. I'm actually fearful for him.
Michael Vaughan was on the show a week ago and said if that was to be the case, England would pick up Justin Langer in a heartbeat. I mean, you can't lose Justin Langer after the success that he's had for that.
Here's the other thing. You've got to have somebody to move to. And that somebody is sitting there and his name's Ricky Ponting. And I know they're good mates, but he'd take that job in a heartbeat.
Turnkey go. Jason on the text says, unfortunate story coming out of the US today. Joe Ingles, Adelaide's own, looks like he's done his ACL for Utah today, which is a terrible story. Great to hear you back, Rowey. You're my favourite. That one's from Nanny of Henley, so that is nice.
Nanny.
Medvedev puts in one of the great finals and our crowd can't respect that. It was poor form, says Dave.
Bit of that. I'm a little bit with Dave.
He's become one of the great villains, though, Medvedev. Didn't win too many fans this Australian Open, I wouldn't have thought.
Well, he should keep his big gob shut.
So the Matildas have given us plenty of highlights, not so last night.
Trying to create the space, and now G goes and shoots and scores. With 3 minutes left to play, Korea Republic's danger woman, Ji So-yoon, has struck, finding space on the edge of the box. And despite the miracles of Lydia Williams so far in this match, that was simply unstoppable.
Andy Harper joins us from 10. Disappointing result, Andy.
Well, that barely covers it. It's a disaster. Really, really sad for the girls. I was sitting next to one of their wounded warriors on the couch last night for Channel 10, Chloe Lagarde. She could barely console herself. So very, very disappointing, needless, but hopefully the shock that I think is required.
Andy, we love our Matildas, I do. I need somebody to blame. I need to point the finger somewhere. And I'm pointing it straight at our coach.
Well, I don't know if he can be blamed for the particular loss. There was, if you want to go down that path, there was some pretty dubious refereeing moments. And, of course, Sam Kerr, who's just been unbelievable for so long, missed chances that she'd normally finish with her eyes closed. But I think... So we can indulge our disappointment that way, with some sort of consolation about the injustice of it all. But I think, to do that would be to ignore the opportunity here, and that's to realise that things need to change. I don't think there's been the necessary progress with this squad under this coach, and I'm not sure if he's doing it because that's the way he sees the world, or because there are various machinations on behind the scenes, expecting him to do certain things in certain ways. It's come up short. Whichever of the two, it's come up short. And we're leaving our run to the World Cup. This is my point. We're leaving our run to the World Cup worryingly short. And we've been trying to get this discussion going for a number of months now. They've steadfastly continued on their path with this current squad. And it's all come to nothing. And I'm going to be really interested to hear the next public comments from Football Australia and the coaches to where to next.
Yeah, for me, the girls just don't look as connected and are as tight as what they used to. I looked at South Korea. They looked better drilled, better coached, their systems, their connection. They had discipline. They played South Korea last night like they were below them. They would turn up and just win. And I reckon all that's on the coach. I'll ask you this, Andy. Do you think Tony Gustafsson can get us into a World Cup final at home?
No.
Well, there you go. We'll get rid of him.
Well, maybe it's not that simple.
Tell your story working, Gus.
Yeah.
Hey?
Well, I felt I had been pretty worked up about this.
Yeah.
To expect the Matildas, even on home soil, to win the World Cup is a massive thing. I mean, for God's sake, it's taken us 44 years to get a tennis champion, and this is a team that is not ranked number one, and the top teams are getting better, and we're treading water. That's the scary thing, right? Now, we don't, and this is a national question for all of us. You know, if we want to expect World Championship status from the Matildas, then we as a country have to invest accordingly. Now, that's not happening, right? So, on the one hand, the Australian sporting public, in which I include myself, you sort of have to temper your expectations when you realise what they're up against and the resources that are being put into these opposing countries. And we're just not giving our girls or our guys in the Socceroos sense that same opportunity. So we've got to be sort of careful. Okay. But we can be better than we're at. There's no question we can be better than we're at. And the way it's going at the moment, you know, to be seriously contending for a semi-final place in the World Cup, which should be within reach, is sort of disappearing into view at the moment.
You say invest accordingly. I just saw the Socceroos got on a private jet. They flew to Oman. We're going to speak to Craig Goodwin. That's investing. What are you calling investing in the Matildas? What more do they need?
Oh, man, you're up against country with development systems, facilities, professional coaching. I mean, where do I start? God,
okay. But it's not talent. I reckon we've got 3 of the best 10 players in the world.
Not about the talent at all.
Okay.
Not about the talent at all. It's about money on the ground with development systems, coaching, facilities. You know, we're still in this country. This is across sport now. And I'm happy to take this discussion outside of sport because we're a very proud sporting culture in Australia. But compared to other countries, we're becoming a cottage industry, mate. A cottage industry. You know, we're asking people to sign up for sport because it's good for your health, and we don't give them dressing rooms to get changed in, right? We ask people to sign up for sport. We expect those teams to be coached to an international standard and win Olympic gold medals and World Cups in soccer, right? And we ask to be staffed by volunteers. There's no comparable country in the world that outsources their best sporting talent to an army of well-meaning parents.
Wow.
That's Australian sport.
That's all sport, you're saying. So this is
all sport.
Okay.
It is all sport, but it doesn't. But it's all sport, but it doesn't come into a sharper focus until you're in the truly international sport. Like we wouldn't know. Honestly, wouldn't know how good we are at Aussie rules because there's no international measure.
Okay.
Right? And the bigger the sports get, the more Australia struggles. A, because of population. B, because we spread ourselves pretty thin. And C, unavoidably, is the lip service we play to developing sport in this country. Well, we don't. It's fading out of schools at a rate faster than you could imagine. It's in the hands of very well-meaning parents who don't particularly know what they're doing, but they volunteer because they're community-minded and they love the idea of the sports club. But the investment in elite sport, and this is going to sound like heresy to people who are trying to balance budgets in other sectors, and I empathise with them. But this is the truth of it. You know, the Matildas have been knocked out of the quarterfinals of the Asian Cup, a tournament they should have won.
Oh no! And
the investment that goes into facilities, particularly into coaching, and to talent programs and to competitions. Yeah, our W League, and I love it to pieces. It's a 16-game comp. But you can't win anything on a 16-game comp. Nothing. You can do it in Aussie rules because there is no such thing as an Asian Cup in Aussie rules.
No, you're not on the world stage. Well, that lays the blame at the FFA. Is there enough money in the game for that? I'll ask you this before I let you go, Andy Harper. I love your commentary from Channel 10. You always shoot from the hip. You don't pull back. You're a bit like me. Would you keep Tony Gustafsson?
Look, let me respectfully steer away from that because I don't know the terms of his employment. You know, I don't know if he's behind the scenes cracking a hissy fit because he's not getting what he wants and then bravely punching on with what he's got, or he doesn't understand what's required. I don't know the answer to that. I've never spoken to the guy. My assessment of the progress is purely on what I see on the field, and it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable.
No. So he has to go, Andy. Don't beat around the bush. We've got 18 months for hosting a home World Cup.
Well, what I will say is if he thinks it's acceptable, then he's wrong and he needs to go.
Yep.
If he knows it's not acceptable, but he's just prepared to accept it because that's the way it is, I don't think that's right either. You know, the whole policy around this till now, in my opinion, has been misaligned. The Asian Cup should have been part of the journey to the World Cup, and we should have seen a development squad sent to Asia. It wouldn't have done any worse, let's face it. And what we would have got out of that was 4 more international games, you know, for maybe the likes of Matilda McNamara out of the Adelaide Reds team, or Emily Condon, or Dorba, you know. These are the sorts of girls who are just withering on the vine through lack of opportunity. And I think they've got a lot of talent. And were I in charge, I'd be running camps and bringing those 3 in particular, say, and seeing the cut of their jib. And if they're up to it, then I'm sending them to the Asian Cup to get international experience. Not so that some of our other girls can get 110, cap 111, cap 112. It's just not the right way to do it.
Yeah, well done, Andy. Love your work.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Andy. Andy Harper, Channel 10. Maybe it's a catalyst for change. Maybe this is the slap in the face, as painful as it is now.
You see what I see. Do they look as committed? Do they look as connected?
They had a horrible night.
I mean, okay, Sam Kerr hits the post. Absolutely. First half hour, they were all over him. Could have she got a VAR penalty? Well, yes, she did. Let's not forget this one thing. We gave away a penalty in that first half, and the lady missed it.
She skied it.
Could have been 2-0. We should have never been in that position.
Yeah.
And all due respect to Tony Gustafsson, but you're a dead man walking. And tell your story walking.
Just on Justin Langer, speaking of coaches, you mentioned a short time ago, where there's smoke, there's fire on the SMS. This one from Steve, who said, when there's smoke, there's fire. At our house, that means the dinner is ready. Here's the traffic. We'll head to Craig Goodwin after this.
At Croydon Park, got a car v pole there. Regency Road near South Road got outbound delays. Wingfield Road closed. Cormac Road between Churchill Road to Magazine Road. At Marden, urgent electrical works. Paynham Road near OG Road. And Trinity Garden slow going for intersection upgrade works at Portrush Road and McGill Road. Got cameras George Street, Theberton and Holbrooks Road at Flinders Park. Open Week is coming to Good Life. Train for 7 days with a $5 donation to Black Dog Institute. February 7 till 13. Download your guest pass now at goodlife.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Support your state and earn some extra cash. The state election is held on March 19th this year. And the Electoral Commission of South Australia need over 7,000 South Australians to help deliver democracy on polling day. So, if you could do with some extra cash and want to support South Australia, head to ecsa.sa.gov.au and register to work at the state election.
On 7 News, the Adelaide super spreading COVID event, why it'll affect the start of school for some. Flood crisis, the Defence Force flies essentials into the SA outback, and how COVID's hampering a power star's recovery. 7 News at 6.
The Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery is back and doubled the fun with 2 Scott Salisbury homes in Somerton Park to be won. Just moments from the beach. Both homes are fully furnished, absolutely stunning, and ready for you to live your dream mortgage-free. With a catalogue of more than 15,000 prizes to win, tickets won't last long. Get yours today and join the fight at homelottery.com.au. Licence M14133.
She's like dying.
Explore Australia's biggest arts festival at Adelaide Fringe from the 18th of February to the 20th of March. With over 1,000 shows, act now and get your tickets. Supported by principal partner Bank SA. Search Adelaide Fringe today.
Hi, it's Jane Riley here. I hope you enjoyed my amazing virtual Victorian road trip as much as I did sharing it with you. Thanks to the travel experts at RAA, we explored Victoria's great southern touring route, including the Great Ocean Road. I hope it's inspired you to get up and go and see what's possible in Victoria. Remember, you can enjoy exclusive RAA member benefits on your next Victorian getaway. Just Google RAA Travel for more info.
Keep on moving on.
If your business could do with more business, you should try advertising here on the radio. 5AA can help turn your brand into a household name. We could do it with a jingle, or a really funny ad, or something deadly serious. Our audience is big enough to fill Adelaide Oval again and again. Get in touch with 5AA to find out how we can give your business more business.
It's value the Australian way at Coles with great fresh specials this week. Like sweet juicy pink lady apples, 100% Aussie and just $3 a kilo. This week at Coles. Offer ends Thursday.
Scraped your caravan? Walker Crash Repairs, an RAA-approved caravan crash repairer.
This is Rowey's Sports Show.
11 minutes to 5 on this Monday. Stephen Rowe back for the first time this year. You can see Rowey, not only hear him, call, email, SMS, but you can see it on our Facebook live stream and our YouTube live stream. People can notice that your glasses only have one arm.
Yeah, I forgot to bring my right reading glasses in, and these were old ones I found in the drawer, and they've got an arm missing. I look like Nana Muscuri. I used to love her.
That's got about a $3 sort of servo look about it,
Yeah,
those
it was.
particular pair of glasses.
It's a 1.5, Leith.
So the Matildas were disappointing, as we know, not so our Socceroos.
Here's Goodwin. It's 3. Beautiful finish. What a goal by Craig Goodwin. Beautifully found with the long ball.
Now we can celebrate the brilliance of the finish from substitute Craig Goodwin, and we can enjoy and share and empathise what the emotion must be like to score your first goal for your country in a key World Cup qualifier.
What a moment it was for Craig Goodwin. He joins us. Goody, congratulations.
Hi, guys. Very much.
And you scored. Thoroughly deserved to get back. Your form was too good to deny. What's it mean to you? You've scored for Australia, Goody. Hello?
Meant a lot, obviously. Now, Craig's actually just had a PCR test, so we'll get back to him very shortly.
So he's in Oman. They got a private jet. Yep. They flew on Thursday of last week. They're getting themselves nice and prepared, and our first question,
it was a big build-up.
It was a bit,
I mean, how great for him, though. He's been waiting for a long time, waiting in the wings. He's been tearing the A-League apart for a long time, Craig Goodwin, to get the chance to play for your country and to score. Fantastic. So we'll speak to him in just 1 second. So there were 4-0 winners over Vietnam. Still no clearer, though, really, the path to the World Cup.
Saudi are on 19. Japan are on 15. We're on 14. There's 3 games left. How's this? We got Oman now. We've got Japan at home on the 24th of March. And then Saudi Arabia away, who are sitting top. We really do need to possibly win 2 of the 3 or 3 of the 3.
We'll try again in Oman. You got us, Goody?
Yeah, got you, guys. Sorry.
That's a better line. Talk us about the goal and what it meant to you.
Yeah, obviously a very special moment for me, being my first international goal. I guess a very, emotional kind of celebration. It just kind of hit me when it happened. But, you know, now that the dust has settled, a very exciting moment, and now I have to prepare for the next game, and because it's a massive game and we need to get the 3 points.
Yeah, we do. 4-0 win. We said that. We spoke about where we sit on the ladder, third with 14. We've got 3 games left. It starts with Oman. You got a chartered flight over to Oman. Couldn't get anything better for your preparations. How are they going, and how does the group feel? Goody?
Yeah, I think everyone's feeling good and ready to go. The mood in the group is positive. You know, we know it's a very big game. We know that we can't afford to slip up many more points. We know that Saudi have to play Japan, which is, I guess, an important fixture. We have to hope that for something there. But the main thing is we have to focus on ourselves and win our games. You know, it is in our hands still. If we win this game against Oman, we're right in the thick of it. And then the next camp will be massive against Saudi and Japan, both games.
Yeah. Oman, it's in Muscat this Wednesday, 2:30 a.m. is our time. They beat Japan, this is Oman, in the round 1, and they're a tricky little mob. They can't qualify, Goody, but, you know, doesn't mean that they're not going to give it a fair crack, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you can see in over the past few years, a lot of the nations around the Middle East and within Asia are becoming stronger as we get further along. So it is going to be a very difficult game. We know that structurally they're probably going to be better than what Vietnam were, and they're workhorses as well. They're going to fight, and they're going to make the game a real battle. So we have to match them in that aspect, and then we have to be very switched on and better tactically and technically.
Yeah, got a couple of stars back. I did a read as is. He's back with the camp. He's back in the group. That's going to add some good depth with us.
Yeah, exactly. He's back. He missed the first one through. He couldn't catch a flight out of Istanbul. There was a problem there, and I think Hurustic is back as well. So the that's important to have those players back. It's a full selection to pick from. But, I think anyone who plays will be feeling confident in themselves. And, I think we have a good squad with a good camaraderie, and I think that'll really help us.
Aren't he going to start you?
Look, I don't know yet. We have to see what happens in the training session today.
Okay.
If I do get to start, I'll be happy and I'll give it my everything. But at the same time, there's other players in the squad that are doing well, and if they play, then like the last game against Vietnam, I'll come off the bench if I do get my minutes, and I'll do the best I can.
Before we let you go, did you catch the mighty Reds? We beat the Jets 2-1, and Nestori, what a goal! He's only 15. Tell us about him.
I did watch the game yesterday. It was during the day for me. So it was I think overall not the best performance, and I think Newcastle were probably the better team. But at the end of the day, 3 points is what's important, and it's a massive 3 points for us. Puts us up to third.
Yes.
And for Nestor, it's fantastic. A 15-year-old, I guess, to have the confidence to step up, and then for the older players that were there to I guess, give him the confidence in taking the free kick, and he's delivered. So he's still got a lot of work to do. As a 15-year-old, he's still learning a lot, but he's got great potential. And if he can work hard, keep his feet on the ground, then I think the sky's the limit for him.
What were you doing at 15, Goody? I know what I was doing, and it wasn't potting goals at the 88-minute mark from a spot kick right in the top corner.
I was doing that, but just on FIFA.
I like this goal celebration. He's 15 and he celebrates with a backflip, double pike, half turn, and he got about an 8 out of 10 for it.
Yeah, we've got a few boys in the team that can do it as well, so it'll be nice to see that a few more times this season.
Yeah, great work. Hey, great to catch up. Thanks for your time, Goody. You got Oman this Wednesday, about 2:30 our time. We need the 3 points. We know we get it. Well done. Congratulations on your goal.
Thanks very much, guys. Really appreciate it.
Adelaide's own Craig Goodwin now with the Socceroos, scored for the first time for his country. And, you had COVID. You were away for 2 weeks and place fell apart. Graham Arnold's had COVID, the coach of the Socceroos.
He had a coach from the hotel room, didn't he?
He's doing it via Skype. Like the old days of Port Adelaide under Matty Promise.
He might have to do that again, I think.
Oh boy, well, he got the results. So fingers crossed the Socceroos can get the job done.
Come
Let's
on,
hope Goody can get on the board again. We're going to take a short break. 5 o'clock news on the way with Michaela on the other side. The 2021-22 Allen Border medalist, Mitchell Starc, one-on-one with Stephen Rowe.
The wait is over. Survivor starts tonight.
Survivor's ready!
Australian Survivor, Blood versus Water. Starts 7:30 tonight on 10.
Can't wait. The last 2 years have seen our country change. And litter in the environment is at an all-time high. Will you step up on Clean Up Australia Day? And if not you, who? And if not then, when? Join hundreds of thousands of Aussies and show you care on Clean Up Australia Day, Sunday the 6th of March. Register today at cleanup.org.au to receive your free kit. That's cleanup.org.au.
We all want a better life and to be able to enjoy it in our own homes. If you or a loved one need some help to enjoy a better life at home, Southern Cross Care is here for you. Our home care services are led by qualified and compassionate health professionals who will help you take care of yourself, your health, your home and your garden. To find out more, visit southerncrosscare.com.au. Southern Cross Care. Better for life at home.
Okadawn Creative Industries is a First Nations business connecting Australia's ancient cultures with today's corporations through Reconciliation Action Plans. A Reconciliation Action Plan is an opportunity to drive change, be a preferred employer and build a dynamic and diverse team with greater cultural awareness. Okadawn can help you discover how a Reconciliation Action Plan can evolve and enhance your business. Okadawn Creative Industries, okadawn.com.au, bringing your story to life.
And the Polar Air Heating and Cooling Salesperson of the Month is... no one. Again. Polar Air Heating and Cooling don't have a sales department. The person that comes to you for a free no-obligation quote is a qualified installer, not someone chasing a commission. So, you'll get exactly what you need. No steak knives. Get ahead of the weather. We're ready to install your air conditioner now. Polar Air Heating and Cooling, for when your lair is unbearable. polarairhc.com.au.
Hi, Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. Latest research shows around 80% of buyers search for new homes on their phone. So it's critical that content used to market properties is designed to maximise exposure on mobile devices. At Toop and Toop, our property videos are shot in portrait orientation to ensure they stand out from the crowd. It's just another way we've innovated to give our clients their best chance for premium results. Check out our game-changing property videos at toop.com.au.
There was more heroes in plain clothing than there was in uniform.
A Fire Inside. Streaming on 9 now. Made possible by NRMA Insurance.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Cloudy tonight, a low of 18. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Michaela Kamarek.
All new 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander with 10-year warranty. 10 years capped price servicing at Agostino Mitsubishi.
6 more people with COVID have died in SA, and we've had just over 1,500 new cases. There are 281 people in hospital, including 25 in intensive care and 4 on ventilators. It comes as Premier Stephen Marshall unveiled a new online learning resource as students prepare to head back to school.
This is a first-hand opportunity to see the incredible work that has been put into providing resources for those children who become COVID positive or are obviously isolated due to being a close contact and need to do their study from home.
Almost 16 million people are officially eligible to roll up their sleeve for a COVID-19 booster shot. From today, the wait time between second and third doses is just 3 months, down from 4. So far, 49% of the eligible population has received a booster. 2 more rounds of Great State vouchers are expected to be a much-needed boost for the local tourism and hospitality sectors. The state governments announced rounds 7 and 8, offering discounts on accommodation, tours and experiences. Daniel Gunnan from the Property Council says it can't come soon enough for many struggling businesses.
This particular stimulus initiative at this particular time, we think it'll put people in bars and beds across Adelaide. More and more people will now be able to go to restaurants and hotels and inject much needed economic activity into a lot of SMEs across South Australia.
The federal government is preparing to announce a $209 million cash injection for the aged care sector. The money will be given to staff providing home care and other services in government subsidised facilities. The first bonus payment of $400 will be made this month. A second $400 payment will be made in May. And the Australian Navy's largest ship has been crippled by a power failure as it delivers humanitarian aid to Tonga. The HMAS Adelaide has been undergoing several days of emergency work but is still experiencing problems. There's reports at one stage a ship was stranded because even the backup power had failed. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
The all-new Kia Sportage is in store at New Spot Kia Salisbury Park. Order now to avoid delays.
Rafael Nadal has posed with the Australian Open trophy for the cameras this afternoon after his 5-set win over Daniil Medvedev. He says it's been one of the most unexpected and special titles of his career.
Without knowing if my foot can hold a professional match at all and be able to compete that way for the last 3 weeks is just something completely unexpected and a big surprise for me.
Winter Olympic silver medalist Matt Graham is on track for a miraculous comeback after breaking his collarbone and undergoing surgery last month. The 27-year-old mogul skier has been racing the clock to be fit for the Beijing Games. And at the NFL playoffs, the LA Rams have defeated the San Francisco 49ers 20-17 in the NFC Championship game. The Rams will face the Cincinnati Bengals in the Super Bowl. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Chipped windscreen? Complete Windscreens repair it on the spot. $75. CompleteWindscreens.com.au.
At Croydon Park got a Carvey pole there. Regency Road near South Road got outbound delays. Wingfield got a road closed there. Cormac Road between Churchill Road to Magazine Road. At Martin, urgent electrical works. Paynham Road near OG Road. And a few cameras on the drive home today. Holbrooks Road, Flinders Park. Marlborough Street, Fulham Gardens. And Sir Donald Bradman Drive at Brooklyn Park. Burbank Homes Inside Out Sale. Start your home with a 10K Bunnings voucher or home finishing upgrade pack. $1,000 deposit gets you started. Burbank.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Cloudy tonight, a low of 18. Possible showers tomorrow, 24. Wednesday, partly cloudy, 22. Thursday, partly cloudy, 25. And Friday, mostly sunny, 28. Right now, it's 33. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
A fireworks prank creates a damaging blast in Adelaide's West. The killer who won't behave. How his victim's sister is fighting his release yet again. Learn now, pay later. A revolutionary new scheme for school fees. The scam hitting one of our biggest banks. What you need to watch for. And why the cost of a beer at your local is about to explode. I'm Brenton Branglis. See the full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
This is Rowey's Sports Show. Stephen Rowe and Leith Forrest.
And for the first time in 2022, after 2 weeks off with COVID protocols, Stephen Rowe is back. Nice to have you back. Settled in all right? Like riding a bike?
Yeah, a bit rusty.
People can enjoy watching you go through all of this. You can do so on our 5AA Facebook live stream or our YouTube live stream as well. Past comments, people are always nice with those. Send in your text via Sip and Save. You can call, you can email. Still to come this hour, we'll catch up with Darren Cahill, talk about what was one of the great Australian Opens, which when you think at the start with Novak Djokovic, you thought, gee, could they have started off worse? In the end, Ash wins, Special K wins, and Rafa, who, whilst not being Australian, was a very popular winner.
Oh, that was outstanding. Just outstanding.
One of the unfortunate parts of COVID is that there's not a lot of events going on, so the Allan Border Medal kind of normally would be a black tie affair. It wasn't this year. It was just sort of done at the end of the day, halfway through the Big Bash final. But the winner, what a deserving winner too, the AB medal, just the fifth bar bowler to do so. Great Mitchell Starc. Mitchell, congratulations.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, and thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, well done. And you did it in a season where we won the T20 World Cup and the Ashes. That must mean a lot to you.
Yeah, I guess it probably hasn't sunk in, I guess, but to look back on certainly the last 6 months with the group, and like you mentioned there, to win a T20 World Cup and then onto the Ashes, I think looking back at everyone in the group should be incredibly proud of their part in both of those. And we've had a really great group through all that with some amazing staff helping the players out, and the groups of players have been phenomenal. So, yeah, to cap that off with a nice little added bonus of an award is something to be proud of, but something I'll probably look back on later as well.
Yeah, well done, Mitchie. 43 wickets at 24. We know that across all formats. 19 of them were in the Ashes. What have you put your form down to?
It's a good question. I think I've certainly bowled better spells or better days in previous years, but I think more the consistency for me has been probably one that's played a part. So I think that's been the best part of this season is working towards that consistency, and it's certainly been my most consistent summer, I think, in terms of getting those 5 tests and the way that the ball came out. So, whether it was my best performed year, I don't think so, but consistency-wise, I think it certainly was.
Yeah, your first ball wicket in that test, mate, that was, Mitch, I can still hear it. That was just next level. Talk us through that one.
I'd like to say I drew it up that way, but no, look, it was running, trying to hit the stumps, and I'm not sure we all thought it would happen that quickly or happen like that. But then to have the roar of the crowd there and the boys up and about, it was certainly an awesome way to start a series off and to start that momentum for us. So I'm glad it did hit the stumps in the end.
Beautiful. Bloody Warney called it a rank full toss, didn't he? What is it
Hey,
with
yours, not
Warney?
mine.
Mitch, honestly, I mean, fair dinkum, potting from the cheap seats. I'm glad you bought it right up his ringer.
Thanks, mate.
No, I am. I bloody am.
It's all, he's entitled to his opinion, and,
Yeah.
and he's certainly going to give it. So, no, I'm just really thrilled for the group to have had the 6 months that we had, and to have played a little part in that is really exciting to be part of the group and to play those roles as well.
Yeah, well, you're underplaying a lot of things. I read a lot of work that you did with your run-up and the lead-up to the test. So you're being very modest about this, Mitch. And, what are you in your 11th or 12th, Australian season, and you're still working on your craft, still wanting it to get better. And I also read that, you were close to giving the game up. So, good on you.
Thanks. Yeah, it's I guess that's life, isn't it? You go through some ups and downs,
Yeah.
and you got to learn to adapt with things. And there's certainly been times through the last couple of years where I've had to, I guess, get through some hurdles. And I guess going to the run up one, it was one that coming out of some quarantines that I sort of didn't have the rhythm or the run up that I wanted going into that World Cup and throughout. So to have worked on that with Andrew McDonald through that period of time towards the Ashes, and then to have it click right before it was lucky. But very thankful for Ronnie for spending that time with me to get through that as well.
Brilliant.
So I'm just glad it culminated in a nice little series as well.
Brilliant. AB medalist Mitch Starc, our guest. I went crabbing yesterday, Mitch, and I got home at about 4:30, and I thought I'd just flick the telly on, and the Women's Ashes was on, and we were in all sorts. I saw you in the stand. How good has Elise been for your cricket, and how good have you been for hers? And that game, talk us through it yesterday. How do we draw that?
Yeah, what a game, wasn't it? It was certainly a wave of emotions throughout that, certainly the last hour. But it was great to watch from the side.
Yeah.
I'm not a great watcher when I can't contribute to anything, but no, I think certainly for the women's game, for the series, for spectators, for the game of cricket, it was just an awesome test match, and certainly an awesome last hour to see it. Could have gone either way. It was looking like England were going to run away with it, and then the Aussie bowlers brought them back in, and then they had to shut up shop in the last over. It had everything. It was a great advertisement for the game, and I think whilst the girls were pretty knackered with the wave of emotion, I think they're pretty chuffed to be a part of that test match as well.
Yeah, well, Mitch, thanks for your time. Congratulations again, AB medalist. When you're flying, there's nothing better in Test cricket with that new rock in your hand. Enjoy the Pakistan tour and the rest of the year, and thanks again and congratulations.
Thanks very much. Always a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Good work. Mitch Starc, our guest.
So a deserving winner, Mitchell Marsh, was second with 106 votes, and Travis Head was third with 72 for the AB medal. Ashley Gardner won the Belinda Clark Award, the Test Player of the Year. Our man, Travis Head.
How good's that?
The Women's ODI Player of the Year, Alyssa Healy. Men's was Mitchell Starc. T20 was Beth Mooney. T20 for the men's, Mitchell Marsh. Elise Villani won the Domestic Player. Travis Head won the Men's Domestic Player. Darcy Brown, our own, won the Young Cricketer, the Betty Wilson Award. And Cricket Hall of Fame inductees, Rosalie Thompson and Justin Langer,
Fantastic.
who now is asking for his old job back.
Well, has to apply for his old job back. I just want to say on the close of that, a fit, firing and in-form Mitch Starc, as a lefty who can bowl over 150 clicks, swing it both ways, reverse swing as well, I think he can be the best bowler in the world. He's only 32. I didn't realise this, but he only turned 32 yesterday. So happy birthday, Mitchie. And I love you, Warnie. I had a little bit of a pot myself from the cheap seats, but he was over the top with his commentary and his criticism of Mitch, certainly in the first two tests. And I think there comes a stage, and I might need to take a little bit of this advice myself. Sometimes when you're wrong, you've got to eat a little bit of humble pie, and you need to put a little bit of cream on it, Warnie. He gave me the earth of kits in his commentary, Warnie.
A lot of people got excited, as you can imagine, with Scott Boland towards the end of the series. But don't forget, those first three tests, Mitchell Starc was all over this English team. The first ball of the series is a wicket. He had a terrific
19 wickets, played all 5 tests, fit as a matty ball.
Deserving winner of the AB
Well done,
medal. He
Mitchie.
was terrific. If you'd like to have your say any sporting issue across the weekend, 8223 0000. We'll get to your calls and a lot of emails coming through as well. Darren Cale to join us just after 5:30. Massive weekend in tennis. We're going to check the traffic. It's 14 minutes after 5 now.
At Old Ranella got a crash on the Southern Expressway near Palantinga Road. Campbelltown got a 2-car crash there. Lower North East Road near Trafford Road. Port Adelaide, a 3-car collision there. Grand Junction Road near Port Road. And Wingfield got a road closed. Cormac Road between Churchill Road to Magazine Road. Cameras this afternoon. Anguston Road, Norriutpa, and Anzac Highway, Ackland, Elgist. Moving home? Don't do it alone. For every stage of life, Storage King has hassle-free storage solutions. Visit storageking.com.au today. The Kings of Storage, moving and more. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 7 News team knows Adelaide.
This is a significant lead for detectives. South Australians really are answering the call.
7 News is Adelaide's news.
Government blames the delays on COVID.
Her body was brought here to this forest. Patients were ordered into quarantine.
Adelaide's #1 weather.
Looking at cooler temperatures by the end of the week, though.
And first for Adelaide sports news.
First 2 breaking news.
Adelaide's leading local news. 7 News at 6.
Terry White Chemmart has real deals on fragrances this Valentine's Day, like 70% off Burberry, 40% off Dolce & Gabbana and 35% off Paco Rabanne. Get real deals every day at Terry White Chemmart. Now that's real chemistry. T's and C's apply. Sale ends Feb 15.
Whether you're celebrating catching up with family again, getting all the grandkids round for a barbecue, or heading out to dinner with some old friends.
Oh, mate. Absolutely.
You don't want to miss out on hearing the best bits. Should have gone to Specsavers. For a free 15-minute hearing check, book today at specsavers.com.au/hearing. Conditions apply.
If you love a dollop of yogurt for breakfast, as a snack, or to add that finishing touch to your dinner, then you'll love Paris Creek Farms organic Greek-style yogurts. Beautifully thick, creamy and crafted in the Adelaide Hills, our 100% organic and sustainably farmed Greek-style yogurts have no chemicals or preservatives. Pick up our delicious plain, vanilla and honey caramel flavours in your supermarket today. Paris Creek Farms. Deliciously better for you and for our planet.
I thought I was too old to make new friends. You know, it's been a long time. I wouldn't know how. But when I moved to FIVEAA, I was thrilled at how welcoming everyone was. Now I play cards with my friend Jan, go line dancing with Lorna, and then we all meet up for happy hour on Fridays. Yep, I wish I'd made the move to FIVEAA sooner.
There's never been a better time to take the first step to great retirement living. Search FIVEAA First Step today.
Hi, Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. Now isn't the time to go into holiday mode if you're thinking of selling your home. The market's hot and the opportunity to achieve a premium price has rarely been stronger. To learn what your home could be worth, go to toop.com.au.
The next state election is in March 2022, and with over 7,000 jobs available, the Electoral Commission of South Australia needs your help. So if you want to earn some extra cash and help deliver democracy in South Australia, search SA Election Jobs to find an election job that suits you.
Scraped your caravan? Walker Crash Repairs, an RAA-approved caravan crash repairer.
This is Rowey Sports Show.
17 minutes after 5, Rowey back for the first time in 2022 over the COVID protocols, and it's not gone unnoticed because you can see Rowey on the Facebook live stream and also our YouTube live stream. And this one from Linda on the Sip and Save text. She said, I decided to watch the live stream. Oh my God, I feel sick. Rowey's been wiping his nose every few minutes with the back of his hand. How gross. Can't even listen now because I can't unsee it. I'll wait till he's on leave or if he's sick again.
So, Linda, what are you saying?
Linda,
what are you saying? I've actually still got COVID symptoms. Linda, I nearly died.
Yeah, come on, Linda, you're better than that.
She needs a teaspoon of cement. Are you going to hand me a tissue?
Tissues.
Leith, have I been doing what Linda said?
I have not noticed it.
Well, I apologise.
But the camera doesn't lie.
Just taking a few tissues and away I go.
Hello to those listening to us on our app.
Yeah.
That get the nice, clear digital. We'll get to some sport update very shortly, thanks to our great mates at FIVEAA Milk. But Valerie's called from Aberfoyle Park.
Hello, Valerie.
Hello, Rowey. Look, I'm a bit fired up about, the conversation just clear my throat a minute.
You're right.
Following on from the conversation about the Matildas
The Andy
and not
Harper
qualifying for the Asian Cup.
Yes.
A few of our listeners might not be aware that 5 or 6 years ago, the AIS decided to pull out of their scholarship programs for team sports.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's a pretty big thing, you know. Going back, let's go back quite a few years, and we had players like Lauren Jackson and Sandy Brondello for basketball, for instance, Michelle Timms, who went through that program. They were there at about the same time as my daughter was, and I know that they went on to do big things. Sandy now coaches our Australian basketball side, and we all know how well Lauren did. And for the men as well, you know, there was a place for them to go and learn and meld as a team, and all other team sports as well. The funding just ran out, and so the AIS just closed down all of those programs about 5 or 6 years ago.
I can't talk specifics with the soccer, but I do remember that, Valerie, and we did get somebody on from the AIS about it. The FFA's job is from grassroots up to the professional level is to bankroll the game. And now that the Matildas are on the world stage and they're a top 10 team and they were, you know, touted to win the Asian Cup, we're going to host the World Cup with New Zealand in 18 months' time. It's up to the FFA to fund them, probably not the AIS. And as a taxpayer, I want FFA and the game to provide the funding for those elite sports people. So that's our Matildas and our Socceroos. I get that. When it comes to basketball, I think you're a little bit right there. That is an Olympic sport. Not that soccer isn't, but it's an Olympic sport. And I think they should probably get some sort of AIS funding. But again, the NBL is a professional sport. There's a W League. There's a men's league. They make money. They should be able to fund their own programs. And again, I'd say to myself, why should the AIS fund basketball, which is professional, soccer, which is professional? Because they certainly don't put any money into AFL, so maybe it is the right call.
There's enough money in those leagues to support themselves,
well, you
Valerie.
would have thought so, but thank you, Valerie. Great call.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing that to our attention.
Much. A couple of messages coming through on our live stream. Kay thinks you look like Pilko with the glasses.
I mean, are we going to keep talking about or is it because it's a new toy and I'm here for the first time? Okay.
First time. Dean said, great to see you back. Leith. Thank you. John from Andamuka says, welcome back. Anthony thinks maybe your tears are from your San Francisco 49ers today. Maybe not a runny nose, just a little bit of teary. He's a Chiefs fan who also isn't happy with the result out of today.
Well, the 49ers absolutely choked. Our quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, he could not have played a worse last quarter. For the 49ers. He's gone. Their backup quarterback will do it. And not that there's anything on the line, only a spot in a Super Bowl. But if Jimmy feels bad, how do you reckon old mate from the Kansas City Chiefs, the quarterback of the absolute century, Patrick Mahomes, feels like he choked like no one's ever choked? The Bengals are through, the Cincinnati Bengals that is. Just on Mahomes, in 2020, now I know he's a Super Bowl champion, MVP in the Super Bowl. He won it, well, a couple of seasons ago now, wasn't it? He signed a 10-year deal at the back of that Super Bowl win as their quarterback, a 10-year deal worth, wait for it, $721 million US. So if anyone's feeling bad, it's not Jimmy Garoppolo, it's Patrick Mahomes.
Didn't get the job done today. Take a listen.
From 31 yards, McPherson, and Cincinnati is heading to the Super Bowl. He called it again, I'm sure. He walked up and he goes, can you believe, Coach? We're going to the Super Bowl. And they did it. They beat Mahomes at home. Wow, Joe Burrow. No way.
Joe's on about 10 million a year, and this bloke's on 72 million a year.
Cold.
Does anybody, or is anybody out there, give us a call 822-300-00, put money on the Bengals and the Rams playing in Super Bowl 56?
Well, I think no one. Sneaky chance.
Were they? At the start of the year?
No.
Cincinnati with no chance.
Had the worst record last year. No, I think they're a sneaky chance now. Think of the great Joe's Super Bowl.
Last year they were a bald lolly.
Correct, Joe Montana?
Yeah. So the
Joe
Bengals are
Namath,
playing the Rams in
Joe
Super Bowl
Burrow.
56, and guess
Correct.
where they're playing?
In LA.
In LA.
Dean from Hillbank wants to speak about the AIS before we get to the news.
Hello, Dean.
Hello, Rowey. How are you? I'm glad you're feeling better, mate.
Yeah, no, I am. I don't want to be a sookie lala about it, but it grabbed me and kicked me fair up the clacker, Dean. I wouldn't want to get it again.
Now, a lot of people get it and they're not work very well, mate. Anyway, what I was trying to say, you got to compete against the Russians, the Chinese, the English that spend $20 million on their netball team and things. You know, you got Americans, what they do with their teams. I mean, the government supports them all the way through, and, you know, they do, and that's where the government money comes from. If you want to keep up with them, you've got to spend that money. You've got to. Otherwise, you're not going to be in the same street as the rest.
Yeah, but we've got to be able to afford it, Dean. I'm not too sure that I want my tax-paying money go towards professional sportsmen that earn millions of dollars.
Well, let's put it this way. How many people were happy about Ash Barty winning the other night in, in the tennis? You know, how many people were happy about that?
Yeah, outstanding. But the AIS didn't pump any money in her. My taxes didn't go towards her. She's become a great player. She's got her own team. She pays her own team, a team of about 10, and she won her third major. And that's the way it should be, Dean.
Yeah, I understand. But how can you compete with countries that pour hundreds of millions of dollars into sport like the Russians and the Chinese and people, you know, swimming and tennis and everything else, what they do? You know, you've got to be realistic, and if you want to win these things, you've got to have the support there and the juniors coming through and being supported. Otherwise, you're never going to win.
But that's on the FFA for soccer. It's on the NBL for basketball, isn't it, Dean? It's not on us taxpayers to do so.
Well, the NBL possibly, but netball players, they don't earn a lot of money. A lot of them don't earn a huge amount of money. A lot of them used to play for nothing. And same as the AF, the women's footballers, they don't earn a lot of money either.
Yeah. Well, the last I looked, our women's swimming team won pound for pound, dollar for dollar.
Went very well.
As good a gold, bronze and silver as you hope. So we can. Does money equal, or does resource into a program equal success? Now, most people would say yes. Dean, you're right. But we're not a bottom endless pit of money to go towards sport, and at what cost?
Thank you for
Thanks,
that, Dean, for Flurry of Milk. Couple more stories before we get to the news. Darren Cale on the other side. The story, Rowey, the last couple of weeks about Charlie Dixon. Will he, won't he get up for the first game of the season? Chad Corns has spoken about that.
Yeah, well, I think the news is getting more and more positive day in, day out. It looks like surgery at this stage won't be required. When he initially did it, it looked quite serious. He was in a lot of pain. The talk around it was it would require surgery and could be up to 3 months. So that was a little frightening to start with, but it's getting better and better every day. The swelling's gone down and he's actually walking around on it pretty much pain-free at the moment. So if all that continues, he should avoid surgery and be out on the track, I would think, around the 4-week mark.
Great news. That is great news. He is still so important to that group. Do you reckon they might slippy?
Nah.
Will Boakey be as good?
Yep.
Will Ollie be another Brownlow medal type year?
You'd hope so. This
is
the
it,
midfield?
Though? I think this is the last.
If they don't.
This is Tombstone, White Earp at the OK Corral. This is the last stand.
You reckon you're wiping your nose? If it doesn't go well for Port Adelaide, there'll be a few fans doing the same. And before we get to the news, have you seen the Sixers? You probably haven't. You've been in ISO for the last 2 weeks.
Stop it. I watched the game yesterday.
Been very difficult in terms of going to the actual arena.
I haven't been able to go.
Mind you, they haven't either because of what's been going on. But how good was it? The
Unreal.
Dusty Hannahs show.
15.3 seconds left. Adelaide in from the baseline. Hannahs got it away and scores! What a moment for Dusty Hannahs! We're tied at 74. Hannahs, huge. It doesn't have to be your day, but it can be your moment. Dusty Hannahs owning the back end of this game.
How good was he?
Well, he hit the three to put it into overtime. They got him as the money man, and he's very confident about his three-pointers. Up to that point, it wasn't a good day, and that's why the commentator said that. But it was his moment. Went into overtime, went on to win 88-83, scored 14-9 in that overtime period. We needed that win. We're 4 wins, we're 6 losses. And in the last 7 days, beat the Wildcats top 3, beat Melbourne top 3. I think the second half of the season is going to be exciting.
Brought United's winning streak to an end, which was nice, and we'll speak to the coach or Isaac Humphries later in the week for ASIC Couriers. On the other side of the news with Michaela, Darren Cale to run through a massive Australian Open.
FIVEAA Breakfast.
Morrison has looked like a bystander more than a leader because the premiers have wielded all of the power for the last 2 years.
David Penberthy.
And they've consistently shown they're going to do their own thing anyway. The National Cabinet is not a binding forum.
Will Goodings.
Support for the coalition's at its lowest level since the leadership spill in 2018.
Informing Adelaide. 6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
The time is now. 88 O'Connell brings new life to this landmark location. An opportunity to tell a new and unique story. A connected community with arts, culture, sport and entertainment on your doorstep. 2, 3 or 4 bedroom apartments with unparalleled views to the city, hills, coast and beyond. The long-awaited display suite is now open, showcasing the incredible lifestyle on offer at 88 O'Connell. More than an address. 88 O'Connell, North Adelaide.
The wait is over. Survivor starts tonight.
Survivor's ready!
Australian Survivor, Blood versus Water. Starts 7:30 tonight on 10.
Can't wait.
Aura Retirement Resort in Findon is 5-star resort-style living with all the comforts, activities and services that you need to relax and enjoy life. Inquire now to secure your luxurious apartment in the Ruby Tower. Brand new 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartments start from just $370K. Start truly living at Aura by Live Well Findon. For more information, go to aurabylivewell.com.au or call their friendly sales team today.
The last 2 years have seen our country change, and litter in the environment is at an all-time high. Will you step up on Clean Up Australia Day? And if not you, who? And if not then, when? Join hundreds of thousands of Aussies and show you care on Clean Up Australia Day, Sunday the 6th of March. Register today at cleanup.org.au to receive your free kit. That's cleanup.org.au.
In parts of Norway, it's not uncommon for homeowners to find a polar bear in their driveway. And in Adelaide, polar bear sightings are on the rise thanks to Polar Air Heating and Cooling. The only bear you'll see is on the side of our vans. For a home as cool as a Norwegian chalet, call Polar Air Heating and Cooling for professional and prompt installation. Polar Air Heating and Cooling. When your lair is unbearable. polarairhc.com.au.
It's value the Australian way at Coles with great fresh specials this week. Like sweet juicy pink lady apples, 100% Aussie and just $3 a kilo. This week at Coles. Offer ends Thursday.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon, I'm Michaela Kamarek. 6 more COVID deaths have been recorded in SA and we've had another 1,500 positive cases. Aged care staff will receive 2 bonus payments worth up to $800 to thank them for their work during the pandemic. The Australian Navy's largest ship has been crippled by a power failure as it delivers humanitarian aid to Tonga, and Rafael Nadal is reflecting on his career in tennis after setting a new record for most major men's titles. Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Old Ranella got a crash on the Southern Expressway near Panelatinga Road. Campbelltown got a 2-car crash there, Lower North East Road near Trafford Road. Port Adelaide, 3-car crash, Grand Junction Road near Port Road. And Marden, urgent electrical works on Paynham Road near OG Road. Got cameras Hartley Road, Flinders Park and Marlborough Streets at Fulham Gardens. The wait is over. Survivor begins tonight. For the first time ever in Australia, they'll play with a member of their own family. Australian Survivor starts 7:30 tonight on 10. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Cloudy tonight, a low of 18. Possible showers tomorrow, 24. Right now, it's 32. More news at 6 o'clock and As It Happens on 5AA.
Scraped your caravan? Walker Crash Repairs, an RAA-approved caravan crash repairer.
This is Rowey's Sports Show.
28 minutes to 6. One of Rowey's pals is Darren Cale's going to join us in just 1 second for Parafield Airport Liquor, home of the hardest to find wines, beers and spirits. Life is better with your pals, and what an Australian Open it was. It couldn't have started worse with Novak Djokovic, but then you get Ash Barty, you get Rafael Nadal, and you get Special K.
The future of doubles tennis is now. The show must go on.
What a performance from Kokkinakis and Kyrgios.
and look what it means to them. Two best mates have just come through and won the Australian Open doubles. They have absolutely lit Melbourne Park up for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was unreal. He certainly is our pal, Darren Cale. Good afternoon. Let's start with Ash Barty. What a win.
Good afternoon, Rowey. Yeah, it was a pretty amazing event, wasn't it? And she just capped it off on that Saturday evening with a remarkable performance, and kind of the way she dealt with the pressure, the way she played, the way she carved herself through the field, not dropping a set. I know she's the number one player in the world, but to be able to do that in Melbourne and do it with the style and class that she did it with, it shows what type of person she is. It was a remarkable performance.
It was. We've spoke about it at the opening. 1-5 down in the second set. She just finds a way to win. Her tennis IQ is immaculate.
Yeah, it does. If something's not working for her, she has a good way of just putting that in a separate compartment and going, all right, I need to change my serving, or I need to use the slice backhand a little more. I need to get my backside to the net. Or I need to play a little more aggressively or take some more risk on the forehand. And that's the great thing about Ash. She can do all those sorts of things. So to beat her, you've got to be a complete player. And Danielle's got a pretty good game. She has beaten her before. I think she beat her here in Adelaide in one of the tournaments last year. And she's got the type of game when she's on. She's so tough to play because she doesn't let you breathe on your side of the court. She hits the ball so hard, and especially with that backhand cross court, that you don't have much time to sort of implement your game. And for about 5 or 6 games, she was on fire. So Ash had to find a way to blunt that. She did it beautifully.
What makes her so good? She's won 3. She's now won on grass, clay and hard court. You know the women's talent very, very well. How far could she go? How many more could she win? She's only 25. How much better can she get? Killer.
Oh, she's a threat, mate, in every Grand Slam she plays.
Yeah.
Every major she plays, so she can win any of them. And every time she walks into one of those, in fact, she's been unlucky in a couple of others as well. She was having a good run at the French Open a couple of years, or maybe a year ago, and had to pull out, I think, in the 4th round of the quarters because she had an arm injury. Yeah, so she was well on way to winning that one. She lost in the semis last year. I think the pressure got to her a little bit last year, but she had a real chance last year to win the Aussie Open. For the next 3 or 4 years, however long she wants to play, she's going to be a threat to win any of them. So, yeah, you don't wish to put a number on it because I think that's a bit unrealistic, but she's a great young lady, an incredible ambassador for tennis, which I really care about.
Yes.
And certainly an incredible ambassador for Australia.
Yeah. She makes me proud to be an Australian, the way she holds herself on and off the court. And I'm a traditionalist. I get a sense you are too, Killer. She makes me proud.
Yeah, she does. It's not just the way she plays, certainly the way she acts to her opponents, to the way that she shakes somebody's hand, even when she comes on the wrong side of a match. Always looks you in the eye, says, well done, mate, well played, follows it up with a congratulations to the whole team. That's something that you guys don't see, is that quite often if she takes a loss, she'll walk to the opposition team and shake the hands of the opposition coach and the team members. And there's a few players that do that now. I think the WTA has become much more collective and social compared to what it used to be. It used to be a bit cutthroat, but now all the women, they know they've got to get on well and they've got to travel the world together for 40 weeks of the year. And the teams are a long time away from home, and especially the Australian ones, so they know the sacrifices everybody is making, and they're all making pretty good money at the top of the game now as well. So it's not kind of what it was 15, 20 years ago. Most of the women do get on.
That's excellent. Rafa Nadal, what more can you say? His 21st major, 5.5 hours, 2 sets down. Talking about finding a way to win.
Yeah, I don't even know how to put words into that, honestly. I sat by the side of the court. I picked him to win. I thought he would win it in 4 sets because I thought that he would come out guns a-blazing and kind of work his way into it and get off to a good start. Then Medvedev would have to adjust his game and find a way to get back into it. But I thought Rafa might have too much for him, but I was completely wrong because it was the other way around. Medvedev was the one that came out and blunted Rafa right from the start. Made an amazing start, won those first 2 sets. He shouldn't have won the second set. Rafa should have won the second set. And after he lost that second set, he was down 1-2 or 2-3, love 40 in the third. I thought he was gone. Yeah. You look at him and you saw the amount of energy that he had to put into those 2 sets, and you look at the scoreboard and he's down 2 sets love. You just don't know how he can pull himself back into that match. But he's done it before. He does it all the time. You've got to put him away. You've got to win the last point against him. He will fight to the very end. And he found an extra gear when it really mattered. And the other big thing was when he won that third set, he looked across the other side of the court, and he actually saw that Medvedev started to struggle a little bit physically. And I reckon that kind of pepped him up a little bit. That made him stick his chest out a little bit more. It made him calm down a little bit more. made him not scared of the long rallies, and there were quite a few long rallies. And then Medvedev started to shorten the points and play a ton of drop shots. And, maybe he won a few of those, but Rafa was pretty damn happy when he started to play those drop shots because that sent a message to his side of the court that Medvedev was struggling.
He stays sound. He'll win his 14th French Open. That'll be 22. He's going to end up the greatest.
Yeah, well, don't forget Novak. So,
well, he's only a year or two younger. I don't know.
Yeah.
Old Novak.
Novak is...
He got to get himself vaccinated, Killer. He's going to,
Yeah, with Paris now, Roland Garros, they've come out and said that you need to be vaccinated to come and compete at the event. So that's kind of the way the world is going. So Novak will have a decision to make as to whether he wants to do that or not. He won't be able to rely on getting exemptions because they'll be blocked now. And I think most of the countries will learn a tough lesson or a good lesson for them from what happened here in Australia. And they'll sort all that out. So Novak is still a force. Medvedev is an improving force. And there's some other players also coming through with Tsitsipas. You saw Felix Auger-Aliassime as well, the young French kid.
Oh, I like him.
Improving. Yeah, he's improving every time we see him. And there's a whole bunch of youngsters coming through that are extremely good. Yannick Sinner, the young Italian kid, he's 20 years of age. Got a little bit overpowered in his quarterfinal match, but he's getting better every time we see him as well. So, yeah, those guys are not certainties to continue to win, but they'll be around the mark.
Killer, who's a bigger villain right now, Novak or Medvedev?
A draw.
Brad Gilbert, who I work with at ESPN, he called him the skinny villain throughout the whole tournament. The problem with Medi was, and this is the problem with the men's tour, is it finishes sort of middle of December. So the tour is long, goes from January 1 through to the middle of December. So Medvedev had 14 days break, not off-season, break between when he finished the Davis Cup, playing for Russia, to when he had to jump on a plane to come to Australia. And we said after the first couple of days at the Australian Open, he just looked tired and grumpy and moody. And that's kind of the way he played the whole tournament. He's not normally like that. He had a bit of fun with the US crowd a couple of years ago where they were against him, and he worked them into a bit of a fever and then got them on his side for that big final against Rafa that they played a couple of years ago. He was just too tired to do that here. So I give him a lot of credit for being able to get to the final, to be able to get so close to winning, but they have to sort out the men's schedule because it's too long of a year and these guys need a decent break.
SA tennis icon, our guest, Darren Carroll, our special guest, and talking about the Special K, Nick and Thanasi. Individually, I like them. Together, I'm not too sure. I don't know about the crowd. Again, I might be sounding a bit old. I'm a traditionalist. Where do you sit, Kill? I don't know.
I didn't mind them.
Okay.
I enjoyed the doubles. I thought it was different. I thought it was fun. I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was a bit of seriousness. They're actually quite serious, I thought, in the semis and the final. The matches they played on Kia Arena, that was a zoo. That was awesome to go out and watch. And it was just, come on, we can't all be sterile. We can't all be perfect on the tennis court. Thanasi, I thought, was the best player on the court in the final.
He was.
And what he's been able to do in those 4 weeks winning the tournament here in Adelaide. And I think he made another semi-final as well. And we all know his story of what he's been through the last 5 or 6 years. So to see him playing so well, it brought a smile to my face. I went past him, actually. He was coming out of the locker room, and I think they just won their quarterfinals to get into the semi-finals, and I had a smile. I said, Thanasi, well played, mate. Awesome stuff. And he goes, mate, I have no idea what we're doing out there. We're just winning it. So that's kind of how they played their doubles for the whole tournament, and they did brilliantly. So, yeah, I'm all for it. As long as they try. And it's the same we've spoken about with Nick over the years. As long as you put in an effort, go and have some fun. I don't care. And to Nick's credit, he has tried his backs off the last 2 or 3 years. You can be critical if you want. You can not like him if you want. You can not like a lot of the stuff that he does off the court if you want. That's fine. But every time he's stepped on the court the last 2 or 3 years, he's given it his all, and that's all we really ask.
Yeah, well said, well said. You've turned me around, Killer. Hey, one last one. You're a Port Adelaide board member, a proud Port man. What's a pass mark for your lads this year?
Oh, good question, right? I don't even know if I want to answer that because you don't want to put a pass or a fail mark on before you've even started the season. And I just know that our guys desperately want to play in the big game and the big one, the last game in September, and we're close to doing that. We've had a couple of chances the last couple of years, and if we continue to do the right things and put in the work, and all our numbers with the players with the preseason training are extremely good and well ahead of what they've been previous years. Youngsters are improving. Our older guys are still playing great footy with Boki and Ollie and all the likes. So, yeah, I'm not going to put a pass or a fail mark on it. I the boys just have to go out there, give it everything they've got, and look back at the end of the season with absolutely no regrets, and that'll be fine with me.
So that's a grand final. Hey, Killer, only kidding. Text message from Graham before we go, just quickly if you can. And I'll ask this question because Rowey will become juvenile. The difference between the balls at the US Open, Ash Barty's coach, have we got different balls here in Australia than the US?
Yeah, so we used, I think it was Dunlop, to be honest, here in Australia, and it's a specially made ball for the Australian Open, especially made for the particular court that we're playing on here. The ball they use across at the US Open is a Wilson ball, and it's a lighter, sort of flies through the air, a little tougher to control ball. So, but that's no different to any tournament in the world. Every tournament we go to, there's normally a different type of ball. They've got head balls, there's Babolat balls, a whole bunch of different ones. So the players get used to them pretty quickly. And the best thing about the Australian Open is that you have a chance to play with that particular tennis ball for the 2 or 3 weeks leading up to the Australian Open. That doesn't happen at all the tournaments. Sometimes they're switching and changing right before a major or a slam. But here at the Australian Open, at least they use the same tennis ball for the lead-in tournament.
Yeah. If I was a betting man, Killer, I would have thought the Aussies' balls would have been heavier and hairier. There's just... I could have bet $1 million on that, Leith.
Knew it was coming.
We didn't have to ask Killer that.
It was actually a very good question by the guy. It's something that we complain about as coaches and players throughout the course of the year, that the tennis balls have to be uniform going into each of the majors, and they're not. So actually, whoever wrote that question, that's a fair question.
That's a great question. Killer, have a great year. Thanks for your time.
Darren.
You're one of our pals, Powerfoot Airport Liquor. You're a star.
You guys. Cheers, guys.
The great Darren Cale, Port Adelaide royalty board member, of course, and does such a great job. He was on the world feed for the Australian Open, and what an opener was, with 3 very popular winners.
Yeah, when you're after that special drop, you can trust our pals, your pals. Pals have it all. Parafoot Airport Liquor. It is the home of the hardest to find wines, beers and spirits. Yep, life's better with your pals. I knew
it's a legitimate question from Graham, because we have the same in cricket with the Duke ball and the Kookaburra.
I'm a Spalding man.
So there you go. Ash Barty's coach is concerned that the balls at the US Open won't help her cause. We'll see how that plays out. 5:45. Calm down. Last shout on the way. Your calls, emails, SMS. You've been back like almost a whole show, and you almost got through.
Well, I'm cupping mine. If you're on the
got
Leith.
through. Here's the traffic.
At Old Granada got a crash on the Southern Expressway near Panelatinga Road. Campbelltown got a 2-car crash there. Lower North East Road near Tratford Road. It's actually causing a few delays, so take some care there. Port Adelaide, 3-car collision, Grand Junction Road near Port Road. And Marden, urgent electrical works. That's Paynham Road near OG Road. Coverage today, Donald Rabbit Drive, Brooklyn Park, and Tapley's Hill Road at Glenelg North. IKEA family members save $25 when you spend $250 or $50 when you spend $500 at IKEA. Hurry, ends today. Terms and exclusions apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
G'day, it's Jared Walsh for Wayville Mitsubishi. Wow, there's some exciting stuff happening. The iconic Wayville Australian Motors Mitsubishi Service Centre on Goodwood Road is going through a spectacular rebuild. So while that's in progress, please drive into Davenport Lane to drop your vehicle off for servicing. As always, you can expect the very best servicing and repairs, so it's business as usual. Just drive into Davenport Lane to drop your vehicle off to the incredible Wayville service team, driven by Australian Motors.
Hi, Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. It's holiday season, but now's not the time to sit back if you're thinking of selling your home. Adelaide prices continue to hit record highs. The opportunity to maximise the value of your home has rarely been stronger. Buyers aren't spending their break just eating turkey. They're proactively trying to secure their next property, and quickly. We've been helping Adelaide buyers and sellers for almost 40 years. So if you'd like to know how much your home might be worth in this current hot market, go to toop.com.au.
Summer sizzlers on now at Harvey Norman. Get 60 months interest free, no deposit, no interest from Latitude, and receive a bonus gift card up to $1,000. Shop furniture, bedding, technology, and electrical. 60 months interest free, no deposit, no interest with 60 approximately equal monthly payments, and receive a bonus gift card up to $1,000. Finance only on participating Latitude credit cards. Minimum financed amount $1,000. See T's and C's. Interest applies for non-compliance. Fees and product exclusions apply. Summer sizzlers now at Harvey Norman. Go! The wait is over. Survivor starts tonight.
Survivor's ready!
Australian Survivor, Blood vs. Water. Starts 7:30 tonight on 10.
Can't wait.
Dawn Creative Industries is a First Nations business connecting Australia's ancient cultures with today's corporations through Reconciliation Action Plans. A Reconciliation Action Plan is an opportunity to drive change, be a preferred employer, and build a dynamic and diverse team with greater cultural awareness. Dawn can help you discover how a Reconciliation Action Plan can evolve and enhance your business. Dawn Creative Industries, okadawn.com.au, bringing your story to life.
The passing of someone close places unique stress on family and friends. At this time, Farrell and O'Neill Funerals are here to provide reassurance and peace of mind. Farrell and O'Neill offer creative guidance and advice to tailor a service that best honours your loved one. Whether a large gathering or a small, intimate service, Farrell and O'Neill share their generations of experience in tailoring a unique and meaningful farewell. Proudly SA family-owned and operated, because it's personal.
Here at FIVEAA, we're all about supporting local. G'day Parks, Australia's largest network of holiday parks. Download the app today. G'day Parks, here's good. Visit g'dayparks.com.au today. Scraped your caravan? Walker Crash Repairs, an RAA-approved caravan crash repairer.
This is Rowey's Sports Show.
11 minutes to 6. Stephen Rowe back for the first time in 2022 because of the COVID protocols. Nice to be back in the chair.
Yes, it is.
So much sport to talk about. That's the thing. We had some sort of weekend. You can still join us, 8223 0000. Sip and Save text coming through. Email on air at 5AA.com.au, or if you're watching the live feed on the Facebook or YouTube, you can also send us a message.
Yeah,
there.
my hands are free. I'm not scratching my face or anything like that. Get
No,
on there.
well done.
Did you do that traffic report accident on Lower North East Road from Campbelltown all the way to Martin?
No,
It's
they
backed up.
did that in the traffic, but it is backed up, so avoid that area if you can. Can Darren Cahill give Rafael Nadal the word to give Port Adelaide boys a talk about showing some ticker in the big games? That's from Quentin at Queenstown.
Oh, a bit harsh.
Did you write a line through his name when he's 2 sets down? He hasn't come back for a 5-setter in a major
I went
since
to bed.
like 2007.
I went to bed.
Amazing, wasn't it? And what about 5-1 for Ash Barty in the second set? Did you think
Oh, no, I
she was
sat and
toast?
watched that. There was some hope that she'd find a way, and she did. I mean, to go on and win. That girl was cracking them, that American lass, Collins. Her backhand, double-hand backhand. How do they do that?
I don't know. It's
You know the
amazing
player that
strength.
I like watching now is Tsitsipas.
Oh, Stefanos, yeah. Although getting coached by the old man in the stands, which is... Somebody said, oh, you watch Nick Kyrgios, though, he will turn when he goes overseas. He will not have the same kind of attitude and playfulness that he did at the Australian Open. I think Nick's turned the corner.
I think he has.
Now, whether he does in the singles, but you can see that he and Thanasi are going to have a great doubles career if they can continue this form.
He's showing a bit more gratitude, and I do like that. I mean, that ball that went into the stand that hit the little kid in the face and made him cry. Now, I mean, he stopped play, ran to his kit, grabbed a racket and handed it to the lad. Now, 2 years ago, Nick wouldn't have done that.
No.
He would have laughed. He would have pinged one straight at his head, knocked him clean motherless out, wouldn't he?
And Ryan says reputations of Spain and Russia for viewership versus a couple of 100,000 punters at midnight, 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon, all over. It's Sunday night. The men, for the rest of the time, love the show. So that's on the back of, it wasn't a bad idea, moving the men's and the women's, swapping them over. So the Saturday night, which most people stay up later, the men's final will go longer, put it on a Saturday, put the women's on a Sunday.
Now this was on the back of that it's generally 5 sets. It goes for 5.5 hours. And the game finishes Monday morning at 1:30 in the morning. So put that on a Saturday and put the ladies' game, the women's game, on the Sunday. Why couldn't you play them back-to-back on the same day?
I think you want to spread your viewership across
That's
the
what
days.
they want to
It'd
do.
be huge for Channel
Repeating
9.
again, Ash Barty's game on Saturday night drew just under 3 million viewers for Channel 9. And that was second only to an AFL Grand Final. So if you think, where's the money come from? Well, there's the money. I know they only play the best of 2 sets. First of 2 you win. They don't play 5.
Had it all.
But, geez, I tell you what.
Well, welcome back. Time for...
The
last
your first shout of the year.
Can I do mine? All right. 7 years ago today, we being the Socceroos, were crowned Asian champions. We beat South Korea 2-1. We did that in extra time. James Troisi scored in the 105th minute.
Has he blown the whistle, the referee? That's it! That's it, they've done it! They have done it, Australia! History created! And
Wow. Simon Hill, love him.
Still
God love him.
strong.
He loves the World Games. So that was January 31, 2015, just to give you an idea who played that game. Tim Cahill.
Timmy.
Yedinak was our skipper, the bearded one.
Yep.
Massimo Luongo. Massimo.
Yeah, Luongo.
Robbie Cruz. Now, none of them are playing now. The ones that are now still in the team, Matt Ryan, our keeper, Trent Sansbury, down back, and Matty Leckie. They're the only three that have survived that 2015 team. So that's how quickly it can turn around. Can you remember who our coach was? People at home will.
Gus Hiddink?
No, it was Ange Postecoglou, doing wonders now overseas. So Ange won our first ever Asian championship. He should be still coaching us.
I think Celtic are almost top of their competition.
Well, they won their championship. He got puffed in the Ange. Didn't he get puffed and he quit? He left? Yeah. The pressure.
Sam Tugwell, your last shout, please.
Mine goes back not 7 but 17 years to when Rafa Nadal won his first Grand Slam title. Rewind, 2005 in June. Now, I want to take you just a little bit further back than that.
Okay.
That was when Rafa won his first Grand Slam, June 2005. Go back 9 more months, 2004 in September. Essendon fans, sadly, that's the last time he won a final. That's a long time.
Oh, the man, James Hird, he's done it. What timing? Supreme timing from a supreme player. But what a match. What an extraordinary match. And it's the Bombers whose dream lives on for another week.
So just in context, since you've won a final, Essendon, Rafa's won 21 Grand Slams.
And lost 9.
Yeah.
Or 8.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness. To Bombers fans, James Wellham and Patrick Carpenter and our friends, they've just driven their car off the road.
Right. Sucked in. That's good. That's one of your better ones,
Oh,
Sam.
come on,
I like
Carlton
that.
Head.
Mine's going to be the 2015. Let's go back on this day in history,
Ooh, on this
January
day.
2015, January 31. Serena Williams won her 19th career Grand Slam title. She defeated her arch rival Maria Sharapova 6-3, 7-6. No big deal about that. We just get to play this.
No.
Did you miss this from the women's game?
No.
Just like hours and hours of Sharapova.
No.
So why was she doing it then? Why was they don't do it now? Ash Barty's not a grunter or a screamer.
There's still a few grunters.
Not like
I think there was a bit of grunt. Oh, no, that's a shriek. That's a...
Yeah.
Ooh!
That needs to go.
I just coughed without putting my hand over my mouth. Sorry, fellas, but I don't have the vid.
That's all right.
That is atrocious.
There you go.
That is unwatchable, unlistenable. That is... No, I don't like her.
Do you know what I noticed too of all these last shouts? Hutto's still working. Simon Hill's still working. Not a lot changes, does it?
No.
In the commentary world in the last 7 years. But anyway, there you go. Welcome back. Great to have you back. Sports Day Say on the way. David Wildy, KG, Blakey from 7. We'll see you tomorrow from 4.
Everybody loves their country.
I'm Anthony Fay from Ray White Real Estate. During open inspections, modern window furnishings done well really get the offers rolling.